everyone. Happy summer solstice. All right, let's look at the temperature, folks. Check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. 104 degrees. It was 107 degrees tops. 107 degrees here in the campervan. Okay, how do I endure this? I've got my shower fan. I've got my can of water, which I dipped this handkerchief in over and over, along with this washcloth, which I had on top of my head. So actually, being that the temperature is lower, a few degrees, I had this around my neck so that it would hang down over my chest, and then I had this washcloth on top of my head, and in the buff, laying on this towel. So that is how I got through the afternoon. I watched Willow. Earlier today, I went out and did some errands to get out of Slab City for a little while. It's good to do that every so often. You know, being in the same camp day after day, it's good to get out and do things. So I was able to do that. So we went into Brawley and had some adventures there. It was funny. I'll tell you about it. Story time. This is wet, by the way, and the sun is starting to go down, so the golden hour approacheth. Check out my camp. So cool. So I'm going to make my way over to Cheshire Manor and tell my story today about what I did in town. My friend. Good evening. Detox Proxy, welcome. What are you doing here? No. Dog out. See what they do? They destroy our couches. They have destroyed this chair. Dog out. Dog out. Yeah, it's just every time we turn our backs, they come into our camp, and it's frustrating. I mean, I'm all for dogs having fun and whatnot, but not destroying what doesn't belong to them. Ooh. Well, all right. So this is actually not exactly in the shade. So, hi Floretta, welcome. So we went to town today. My friend and I don't know if he wants his name mentioned on YouTube, so I won't say his name. But so we just went in to do some errands, and he took me out for sushi. So we went to the sushi restaurant, and unfortunately he ended up locking his keys in his car. And so, you know, a little panic moment there, right? So he managed to get his keys. He managed to unlock the car. It was pretty awesome. Is that him? No, someone else. It was pretty epic. Like, he ended up just being able to get in with a long stick. We could not, I tried to go around and look for, you know, the old clothes hanger, the metal clothes hangers. Nobody uses those anymore. So he ended up finding a long stick and jimmying his way in. So that took like 20 minutes, and we're out there pouring sweat. His little dog was in a carrier, and she was peaceful and quiet, thankfully. All right, so then we went in and we had sushi, and then we ran around and did some other errands, went to Ace Hardware, and of course, it's freezing cold, and you know, in all these shops, I think they have it to like 70 degrees, and us people that live here in Slab City, we're like acclimated to much higher temperatures. What I'm learning is that the human body can acclimate to heat, and we've been doing it for ages and ages. It's only, I guess, since the industrial age that we've been dependent on fossil fuels to keep us cool. But there's actually ancient architecture, like in Africa and the Middle East, where they build structures in such a way that the structures will shed or keep the heat out, and there's airflow so that the structures are like cool, and all without air conditioning. I'm like, wow, we need to adopt these ancient ways of doing things that actually worked, that didn't, you know, use fossil fuels like we're so dependent on this time in our evolution. Yeah, so today actually wasn't, like, even though it's the summer solstice, it wasn't the hottest day that we've had. The hottest day I've experienced to date here is 113 degrees. And, you know, basically, during that time, I was wearing shorts and a shirt and spraying myself with a garden sprayer. And that works pretty good. But I'm really liking this handkerchief and the wet washcloth, and just being in the buff and not wearing wet clothes all afternoon. So I'm trying to determine what the best way is. Honestly, I am convinced that the best way to get through the summer is to have a pool, but I'm not doing a pool. And the reason being is because most of them on the market are just junk. You know, I read the reviews carefully, and people are lucky to get through one season. And I don't want to be throwing pools in the landfill. So I'm considering some other options. One option is to get like an old bathtub. I think that actually might be my favorite. Like getting an old porcelain bathtub would be amazing. And then I have a friend here in Slab City that was going to have me watch her camp. And she has like an RV bathtub in her shaded area, and she just puts a gallon in a day and sits in, you know, instead of dealing with the headache of a pool and filtration and pump. And I've never done that, and that's another hindrance. I mean, I feel pretty confident that I probably could do a pool, you know, deal with the maintenance of it, but I'm just not happy about having a pool that I can't reuse year after year. Most of them spring leaks, and it's a pain in the neck to find the leaks. And, you know, like I said, most of them don't even make it through a season from what I'm reading on Amazon reviews. So I want a more durable, long-lasting, something that will last for years and years, preferably the duration of my life, which an old-timey porcelain clawfoot bathtub that totally would. Or like an animal trough, something heavy duty that's gonna last for years and years and not have to be thrown into a landfill every season, every year. So yeah, it was, you know, exciting going into town and running around doing errands and hanging out with my friend, and eating out is always a special thing. We had sushi, which I love. So I had tuna roll and salmon roll, but I just discovered he got the spicy tuna roll, and I like that way better than the plain tuna roll. So I'm gonna get the spicy next time. Probably the spicy salmon roll too. Yes, and tonight at the range, there's a woman named Linda who has really gone gung-ho with preparing food. Like, she's really quite the cook, is my understanding. Like, she's been making breakfast for Slab City in the morning for like $5 a plate, very extremely reasonable. And now tonight at the range, during Terry's birthday party, is my understanding, Linda is going to show up with a ton of food, and we'll be doing a barbecue. So my friends and I are gonna go to that and take a soak in the canal, and then he and I are gonna watch Into the Wild, which for those of you who don't know, that's the story of this guy. I think his name was Chris Candleford. Correct me if I'm mispronouncing his name, but it's the story of how he got sick and tired of society, like so many of us who come here to Slab City are, and like just ended up coming here to Slab City for a while and then going to Alaska, and unfortunately he did not have the skill set to survive in Alaska and died eating a poisonous plant. But watch that movie if you haven't already. So we're gonna watch that tonight. I haven't seen that in like 15 years. So that is a recap of my day. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm gonna try to go live every single day at the end of the day, anywhere between 6 and 9 p.m. So be sure to keep an eye out. The thing is I'm not, I want to try to go live by 7 p.m. feels really good, because then I can do a recap of the day, you know. So I will aim to do that. If there are days where I don't get to go live because I'm busy doing something, I will go live the next day and summarize the days that I didn't go live. But let's see if I can keep a live stream streak going. And also, if you want to support this channel and my off-grid life, check out my Ko-fi community, link in the description. Also, I have a new line of t-shirts from a sustainable clothing or merchandise store called T-Mill, located in the Isle of Wight in England, off the coast of England. They've got amazing merchandise, so be sure to check out my photography and artwork on my new t-shirts there, and check out my membership. Come join my Ko-fi membership if you'd like. I'd love to have you join, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching today. Catch you tomorrow or the next day.